Well met, friend.
Excuse me, but I've been looking for you. You're the one who's lifted the curse on Heritage Hill? My lady, who wishes to remain anonymous, has entrusted me with bringing you this pistol. It belonged to a dear friend of hers who was lost to the curse. For your part in reclaiming Heritage Hill, my lady wishes you to have it. Here, may it serve you well in battle. Thank you. She bows. You're quite welcome. You have gained an item, Saint Garum Spark. Now I must be off. Farewell. Sweet. Let's check this out. Let's go here. Properties marking, shocking, lash, DR reduction. So the other one's speed. Can we dual wield? Ah, no. That's dumb. Oh well. You know what? Let's do this. There we go. Upgrade some weapons. Alright, so now that we're here. Let's see here. Was it Rogue Knight? Forged a document from Dyrud Row verifying the purity of his soul. So let's check out here in the different areas, see if we can find anything on that. Minimum two-sided. What is... Aloth revealed that an awakened soul, Izmir, dwells within him. He asks for help and find an expert who understands the predicament. Oh, so maybe here? Verna. Alright, so this is a lot of just learning history of these people. Oh, it's not stealing. Taking it. That's money. Can we talk to this person? No, it's just a statue. Oh! Never mind, it's not a statue. It's been some time since a watcher graced these halls. His voice echoes deeply, a rumbling floor beneath you. I am envious of your natural insights, traveler. I can only imagine how it might have helped my work in life. Now, what has brought you to my sanitarium? Are you the animator who's been buying relics from Imatil? No. Curious how you've become present. Does anyone here know anything about awakenings? There's an animator on the lower floor who came all the way from Revua to study them. Take the stairs down and look for the blessings. You may have a member of the Laden Key in your midst. Eldmore growls, groans, and the stone around him shudders. I could have done without hearing that today. Many of their intrusions been into our affairs. Of course, one can seldom be certain whether they meddle or whether calamity has struck on its own. But a few of their less skilled infiltrators have been exposed from time to time. They are a perpetual nuisance. Once again, I'm reminded of how envious I am of your gifts. I suspect they would be of some use in verifying one's identity. You are at odds with Laden Key as well, I take it. They have something I need. I hope it is the knowledge you seek. They're seldom keen to part with it. Do you have any idea who this person might be? I suspect it's a patient. Very well, in that case, I would remind you to speak first with our resident Animancers. They have frequent interactions with both patient and colleagues. You'll find them up here or in their office downstairs. You'll report anything suspicious to me immediately. This is my only request. Are you the Animancer who's been buying relics from Imitil? There's a large and rather notorious black market for uncatalogued Mutant relics. I stay far away from it. Farewell. Alright, so downstairs. Oh wait, the man who waits. Hold on. I think that's another main quest. The Lane Key Acolyte showed me a vision of an agent in place of misery and madness. I need to find this agent and discover his or her plan to see if it holds any clues in finding the man I'm searching for. Is it this guy?
How do you do?
Now, the woman paces back and forth, her feet crunching on the soft red carpet. She gestures and mumbles to herself, shaking her head as she pores over pages of notes. She almost walks into you. Escasi, here I am looking for some hard answers in my research that I do not see the kith standing in front of me. What can I do? I'm looking for an expert in awakenings. She laughs bitterly. Ach, what do you mean? The lack of research subjects has made me more of an expert in counting floorboards. I would like to transfer Animancy's success into buttressing pre-awakened souls to soothing those whose souls have already awakened. But any subjects and most of the patients here are too broken to produce reliable results. This is tragedy. I have come so far for nothing. Well, you're in luck. I have a volunteer. She springs to the balls of her feet, beaming. Golarde, who is it? Aloth lips curls into a frown. I don't know about this. She grins more broadly still. Don't be silly. The process is perfectly harmless. All you need to do is stand in that cage. I beg your pardon? I jest. You Adrians are so uptight. I don't even know what the thing is used for. It belonged to the last occupant of the office, I think. Now they upgrade him to a cell. Again, I jest. She rubs her hands together, getting down to business. So, I need you to sit here. She takes Aloth by the shoulders and steers him to the couch, and try to relax. But don't try too hard, then you will not be relaxing. Indeed. And you must also wear these. A little cold, but the copper will help conduct your essence. The Animancer fastens a thick copper bands to Aloth's forehead and wrist. As she ratchets them together, his face twitches with surprised irritation. Now I'll examine your soul through my scope. She reaches to her desk and produces a long, chambered tube. Knobs, dials, and small toothed wheels run along the side of this device. It is fitted with audio lenses cut from different thicknesses and concavities. By manipulating them, I tend to find angles and densities that will allow me to track the anomalies in your soul. How exciting. I've never seen this sort of thing performed. It seems suitably complicated. Does this mean we'll get to talk to Izmir more? I like that lady. She raised her finger, but first we must find this cunning interloper. You will answer some personal questions while I make adjustments. Good luck. You have an easier time getting straight answers out of a drunk priest of Whale. Very well. If you can tell me something personal, something from a time before your awakening. There's nothing to tell. I was just a normal kid living in Sithwood. He looks at you. His face is set in frown, but the rigid edges of apprehension show through nevertheless. Talk about your parents. As you speak to Aloth, you feel your voice like a bell on your chest. It tolls softly, luring him into the mist of his own memory. Belisage doesn't seem to notice anything, but you feel as if your words are soothing his essence, untangling the many threads. He closed his eyes. Mother is away most of the time with the Thyian family, but I always know when she is coming home. Father bottles Father's bottles accumulate like storm clouds in the horizon. His fits of temper become swifter and more violent. It still shames him, knowing that her homage to another man supports us better than his labors as a steward. That's good. I'm starting to see something. Continue. Tell us about the time you awakened. She bites her tongue and twists one of the dials. I am in my 5th year of training. Mother is home. I can let my guard down a little because when she is around, he's usually only angry with her. But he has heard that I have had trouble casting missiles, that my flame shields are unstable. He is furious that I have failed. And Mother's presence reminds him that he has failed too. The first blow takes me by surprise. One moment I'm sweeping the kitchen, the next I'm sprawled on the ground, stupidly looking at flecks of my own blood on the tile. His boots, glistening with fresh polish, thud across the floor. He kicks me in the stomach, and I curl up to shield my vitals. But it is pointless. Protecting one thing only leaves something else exposed. Still huddled on the ground, I retreat as fast as I can. I retreat until the vision of the kitchen and my own trembling knees is nothing but a pinprick against a field of black. His jaw locks and his eyes twitch beneath their lids. Medico. Belsters fiercely cranks the knobs along her scope. He's hypnotized himself with his old memory. You got to bring him out of it. Quickly. I almost have it. This is just a memory. It isn't real. Alot's eyes snap open, and the expression you see in them isn't his. And what about these rattles ye see in space twixt your ears? They real now for ye? Belsiard sucks in a deep breath through her teeth. That's it. I'm seeing a shift in his essence, something spreading and congealing. She glances at you over her scope. Keep talking. He seems to respond to you. What brought you here? Cracking bones and voices and ire. The warm molasses feeling that crips down your gut when crisis is nigh. That's different. Belfetto. We have flares of a totally distinct essence. She jots shorthand notes into the pages next to her and turns one clicking knob of her scope. I'll try to get the two of them talking. Ismir, tell Aloth why you've awakened. Fie. He's the one needing me, hiding in his own bone bag like a turtle in its shell. Aloth's face twists in fury. I never turned it over to you. Good, yes, very good. She rests from her scribbling only to make another adjustment on her scope. I can now see two separate patterns of essence. Where he ebbs, the other flows. It's as if the awakened soul fills the space that he leaves empty. She prompts you with a circling of her wrists, quill still in hand. Go on. Aloth, what's this about ceding space to Ismir? I've given her nothing. She erupts me in my own body. And I've lent him a pair too. Ye should speak what I did to that old man of his. How the last time he laid a hand on us, I break it in 3 places. Halot's head jerks to the side. That wasn't your decision. It's never been your decision. I was awakening, but now I'm stuck in ye, and damned if I let your ninnying drag us both through the scupper. Very good. She lowers her scope and consults her notes. I think I finally got something we can work with. I've tracked Ismir's essence throughout the exchange. She had only partially high density index during the most heated portions of the argument, and her essence seemed to localize most clearly around the lower portion of the subject's left rib. That's right around the spleen, which of course means she's been triggered by black bile. No doubt the subject's characteristic melancholy is to blame. Aloth blinks at you in the midst of this perturbation, and you're not quite sure who he's who's looking out of his eyes. That's utter horseshit. Black bile, is it? They've certainly spat in their share. Kind of studies a lot dubiously. It is a simpler explanation than I expected, all things considered. She glares at him. Yes. Never mind my years of training. I suppose you have a better explanation. Izmir manifests when a Loth is in danger or under pressure. I suppose that could be true, she jots on down. I'll have to check this against other research. Well, good for you, but what does that mean for me? Veslik frowns at her notes, tapping her cheek with a quill and making it a grand show of concentration. However, you catch her stealing a glance at you over the pages. Izmir tries to take control from you whenever she thinks that you can't face a problem your own. You can't let her make these decisions for you. My thoughts exactly. I have to be more careful about her from now on. I've got a lot to process regardless. Thank you for your help, Grizz. Well, I hope this has been as useful as it has been for me. I finally have material worth publishing. You will be the toast of Rebua. Fintre Aloth. Advancing the right-wise principles of Animancy. Just what you've always wanted. As you turn to leave, you catch a darting movement out of the corner of your eye. Belsurge is humming to herself, still occupied with her scope, but Aloth is holding her notes. He's about to tuck them in his cloak when he catches you watching. He holds a finger to his lips, eyes wide and imploring. Please, I don't want my personal information published like this, especially not after her nonsense. Fair enough, but do it quietly. He hides the papers in his cloak. Not to worry. We'll see to this on our own. Is that it? Alright. In a quarter of Mode's lab rests a large weathered trunk. It seems to have contained something important, if only by virtue of its size. Examine the trunk more closely. Nothing grabs your attention except for the large padlock in front. Whatever this animator keeps in here, he does not want anyone else to see. Open the trunk. It's too sturdy to break. You'll need to find the key. Leave the trunk alone. An animator scribbles feverishly on the parchment scroll while his free hand dances through the air, counting off unseen objects. His lips move in silent discourse. As your shadow falls over his scroll, he looks up at you with mingled perplexity and irritation.
Good day, stranger.
Can I help you? Has anything unusual been happening around here? You must be joking. This is a sanitarium. Nothing is usual down here. Although, now that I think of it, the patients seem more agitated lately. But they're Kedman Azo's responsibility, not mine. What are you working on? An area of focus is witched. More specifically, how to cure them. What is that? A Hollowborn who received a transplanted animal soul during infancy. One of Animancy's early efforts to cure the legacy, if not a successful one. Now they show signs of developmental abnormalities throughout their childhood. But when they reach adolescence, they become aggressive, feral, but still victims in need of a cure. I see. Good. Are you the Animancer who's been buying relics from Imito? Who? I don't have time to barter with adventurers, if that's what this is about. I hear Valayan woman studies them. Alright, cool. Just looking around. Be quick about it. Don't touch anything. The sanitarium has a lax visitor policy, but I don't.
Eyes open.
Good day to you. Keeping an eye out.
Yeah.
Alright, so there's nothing in here for the key.
Hey.
Alright, anything over here?
Finished.
Screw it, take him. Oh, man who waits. Talk to Elfmore about Azo. Anything in here? Sweet.
Welcome.
I found records that Azo may be running some questionable experiments. Countman Azo is in charge of patient welfare now. He's not authorized to run any more experiments. I am disappointed in Cadman, and I hope he would be the one to guide your inquiry. He'll be in his office or in the patient wards. I'm granting you immediate access so you can find him. No doubt you'll wish to speak with him further on the matter, and I, for one, am curious as to what he might have to say. Tread carefully in the wards. There are a few dangerous cases. I would also ask that you do your best not to agitate the patients. They have enough troubles as it is. Alright, let's go back downstairs, check the patient wards. Alright, don't make all these flesh constructs mad. Interesting, alright. Looking for a guy named Azo. Maybe over here? I mean, I don't see any other... Nope, nothing here.
Yes.
You must be visiting someone. Any of the patients here been acting unusually? Well, there's Batixa who relives a murder she committed more than 5 lifetimes ago. Idleman, who they say is half a soul who is found collecting the faces of others because he believed his own to be a false one. Graham, he speaks in a language no one understands and wails at night sometimes. Different from their normal behavior, I mean. Well, yes, I suppose. There's nothing they don't volunteer for. Master Azo let us know that a number of the patients in the North Ward have volunteered for a new therapy and would like to be escorted to the laboratory. The North Ward is our most troubled cases. I'm glad that some of them have chosen to get help. It seems to me it's gotten quieter over there since it started. Would I be able to visit the North Ward? They like to keep them separate. I don't know that I've ever seen the guards allow a visitor, just Master Azo. You might ask him. He's very sympathetic. Very well. I don't see anyone named Azo. Oh, I can go down here. Patient. No, nothing. In here maybe? was it? Ah, found him.
Finished.
Ooh. One-handed mace. That's much better than what we have. We are going to give that to our boy here.
I'll get it open. Finished.
Man, look at all this. Breakout, preservation, fine. So we got some rare armor, some legendary armor as well. Does anyone here use, what do you use? What does this do? I'm just gonna swap that out. Medium armor. There we go. This dude had all the things in here. Alright. A round-faced, balding man turns to face you. His upper lip is pulled upward slightly to his pointed nose, exposing his upper teeth when he scowls.
What is the meaning of this?
Are you the Animancer's Bond relics from Idmol?
What is it now?
Elmer told me you're not supposed to be doing any more experiments. Yes, well, Elthamir hasn't done much good for anybody since he had his soul moved to an inanimate object. So I fail to see why I should let that sway me. If Animancers all followed the commands of their leaders, where would we be? We'd all be as backward and woefully ignorant as Ritzeris. I would know nothing about life or death or even ourselves. We would be lost in the dark and have with no clue as to why. Animancers must push the boundaries of knowledge, but you must be careful, Azo. Even Defiance Bay isn't as safe for research as it once was.
Are you from Ritzeris? Are you Widewind himself, risen to smite me for my heretical belief in learning who I am and why I exist? Please. You are afraid because men have taught you to be afraid. Because they were taught to be afraid. These things are only beyond our comprehension because of the fears of people like you. Who will solve Widewind?